Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Elma, and in today's video I wanted to do a quick update video on my plants that are in my office and also an office tour. I haven't filmed a video in a while, so I wanted to update you guys on how my plants are doing in my previous haul video. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. Alright, so let's start off with my desk. I have two plants on my desk. The first one is my absolute favorite, and this is the Hoya Carnosa tricolor, and it's doing really well. It's grown quite a bit. It's actually, I'm surprised, but it actually grows pretty fast. With the growing season, I mean, I had so many new leaves come out of this. It's really a lot fuller now. And although I didn't get any flowers this year, I think it's still a really beautiful plant. Overall, I love this plant. It's so easy to take care of, and it doesn't need a lot of watering either. I only water this plant about every 14 days, and sometimes even a little bit longer is fine. You can tell it needs to be watered if the leaves feel like softer. Like right now, the leaves are really pliable, so I feel like this is going to need water soon. But yeah, that's one of the signs, is that the leaves get really soft, so then you know it's time to go ahead and water. But absolutely love this one. And then the next plant that sits on my desk is a peperomia. I don't know the variety of this plant. I picked it up in a nursery in California, and it looks like this. Really just like, this one sits on my by my computer, and another really easy plant to take care of. I've only had this one for maybe like 2 months, and so I'm still kind of learning what this plant likes and all of that. So I'll keep you guys updated on this plant. Okay, so right here on my bookcase, I have about 4 plants. This room gets a lot of bright light. I have a west facing window here. That's where my bookshelf is, and then across I have a sliding door that is east facing, and to the left of the bookshelf I have 2 north facing windows. So all the way around I get really good lighting in this room, and so I keep a lot of my plants that need bright and direct light. And one of those plants that I absolutely love is my Hoya obovata. Look at this. And again, all of my Hoyas don't need a lot of water. So this one I typically water every 14 to 18 days. And that's another reason why I love Hoyas, is because I can go out of town, or if I'm like really busy and I forget, they do okay with a little bit of neglect. And again, you can tell that it needs to be watered. Like this one, the leaves get really soft and pliable. And so that typically means that they need to be watered. And so that's what I love about this plant as well, is it's really easy to tell when it needs water. This particular variety is actually pretty slow growing for me. Throughout the summer season, I only got about 2 to 3 leaves out of him, although he is growing a new leaf right here. But regardless, I still love this plant, and it's so different and unique, and the leaves are so thick. It's just so cool. So I love having him in my collection. Okay, so right above me I have 2 more plants. Okay, so I feel like there's a theme going on here, and they're all Hoyas, but trust me, this whole video is not about all Hoyas. So, and actually my next plant is another Hoya. So this one is a Hoya Crimson Princess, I believe. And I love this one, you guys. I love all of my plants, but like all the variegated stuff, I'm just so addicted to it. It's trailing quite a bit now. This whole section here wasn't here when I first got the plant, so it's doing really, really well. I have another one that's training here. This is another one that grows pretty quickly. If you don't have a Hoya like in your collection, you've got to get it because they're just such easy plants to take care of. I mean, I haven't had any issues. If you have a tendency to baby your plants and you have a tendency to overwater, you may want to kind of keep track of when you water your plants. And then let me show you the next one. Okay, so the next plant that I have, and this is the last Hoya in this room, I think. Yes, this is the last one. And this is the Hoya carrii, I think is how you say it, or carrie, I'm not sure. It's the heart-shaped Hoya. And this one I bought recently about 2 months ago at the same time that I bought that peperomia that's on my desk. And then in the process of transporting it, this leaf kind of broke, and so I'm just leaving him alone for now. But absolutely love this one. And I know this one, I think, is a slow grower. So I don't really expect this one to grow very quickly for me. But there is a new little leaf that's coming out, I think. So hopefully I'll get two before the end of the growing season. All right, and then my last plant is on the top. So let me go grab a ladder. Okay, so this is the last plant I have on this bookshelf here, and it sits all the way on the top. This is the Ficus elastica, or rubber tree, and it's the variegated variety. You guys, I haven't had any issues with this plant. It's growing perfectly fine. I water him about every like 7 to 10 days during the growing season. He's put out a lot of new growth for me. The only problem that I did have, and if you notice, there's some browning on some of the leaves. And that was because I was gone for 2 weeks. I went on vacation and I came back and the plant was just like drooping with brown edges, and it was just such a disaster, and I thought I was going to lose this plant. But actually I gave it some water, and I kind of staked one of the stems and it came back. So I mean, this plant is just so beautiful. Again, I have an obsession with variegated leaves, and who doesn't? They're just absolutely beautiful, and I'm so glad that this plant is actually really easy to take care of. So, and then it's got a new leaf that's coming in right here. So pretty. Absolutely love this one. Okay, so my next plant is the silver dollar vine. This one has like really cool, like circular, succulent type leaves, and it's actually really fast growing. I've had this plant, I'd say, I don't know, maybe like 6 to 8 months. It's one of my like recent plants as well. I don't believe I shared it in a whole video, but it's really fast growing. When I first picked it up, it only had one like trailing vine, and now it's got multiple. And it does like the location that it's in. I have a west facing window. It's right in front of two north facing windows behind me, and then of course there's that east facing sliding door. So it really loves a lot of bright indirect light. So let me show you guys. This is one of my like really unique plants. I love this one. Uh, you can take a look there. And then it sits in this really cute planter that I picked up from Home Goods. It's so cute. I know this plant is more on the rare side, so they're a little bit harder to find, so I got really, really lucky. This plant, though, was $35 at the nursery that I go to in LA. So it's on the pricey side, but I think it's because it's more on the rare side. I only water him about every 18 to 20 days. I'd say about 3 weeks. They don't really need a lot of water. I have a tendency to water it less often. I'd rather underwater than overwater. So I tend to be kind of conservative when it comes to watering this plant. And I think the most important thing about this plant is giving it the proper light conditions. Okay, so I'm just gonna kneel because this plant is so huge. So this is my Monstera deliciosa. This plant has grown so much. He's huge now. And let me just show you if I can get him out of the pot. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so here he is. He's so big. Oh my gosh. Okay. And like, okay. So he looks really healthy. He's doing really, really well. And can you see me? Okay, so this plant is ginormous. And so this plant's like really huge. He's grown a lot, and they're actually really fast growing plants. This one I'm watering every like 10 days or so. It's really fast growing. I'm seeing a ton of splits now, and I'm just so excited. I do need to stake him in a moss pole, so I'll probably do a video on that soon, but so far he's doing really, really well. And then right behind me is another philodendron. Let me grab that plant really quick. Leaf philodendron. Gosh, it's huge. I've had this one for quite a while. So big. This guy, he needs a lot of room though. So he needs a lot of space, and he's kind of like spreads out really big, and like the leaves kind of like fall, and he's just a really big plant. So if you don't have a lot of space, this may not work for you. But another really easy plant, I water this one once a week. This leaf and this one, they're both new, uh, but like they're really shiny when they're new leaves. But it's just a really cool philodendron. He's grown about, I think I've gotten 3 or 4 leaves out of him, and the older leaves have kind of died off too. This one's like my tallest one. Trying to get him in the frame. Okay, so the last plant I have for you guys today sits like right behind my bookcase here. It sits all the way to the top, and this plant is new. I just picked it up recently with the Hoya caryi and the peperomia. This one is the Monstera adansonii. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this plant is actually really popular at the moment. It's really popular on Instagram, and I've been wanting to get my hands on this one just because I love my Monstera deliciosa, and I love how easy it is to take care of. So when I saw this one, I was just so excited because this was the only one that they had, and I know that this is a harder plant to get a hold of, especially in this size. So I picked mine up in California, and it did have some yellowing on the leaves, which I think at the nursery they were overwatering it, but it's doing a lot better now. It's got this new growth right here at the top, and it looks perfect. So I can't wait for this one to get really big and to start trailing. It's such a gorgeous plant. I'm watering him about every like 10 days. I'm still kind of learning what it likes, what light conditions it likes, and all of that. So I'll update you guys on this plant. But how cool are these leaves? Like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a cool plant. Okay, so that is all of the plants I have for you guys today, along with my tour video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you.